Joy over here. Thanks for joining me on your mats for a all levels Hatha flow. And today's class we're going to be focusing on hips. So lots of hip goodness. I hope you enjoy. And let's get started on our backs. So you're gonna bring the soles of your feet to touch, allow your knees to splay out to the sides. And of course, if this is too uncomfortable, you can always extend your legs or bring your knees to touch, bring the feet wide. And just taking a moment to fully arrive on your mat, in your body, cultivating that mind-body-breath connection. Notice your thoughts as they come and go. Observe the breath in and out through the nose. Scan your physical body from head to toe. Notice where you can use a little bit more space. And also take a note of your energy as well. How are you feeling energetically? Do you feel tired? Do you feel full of energy? And then slowly start to slide the hands under the knees. You can windshield wipe the legs a little bit here. And then we're going to stack right ankle on top of the left leg. This is a stop number one. Perhaps for some of you this is already enough. Or you can invite the knees closer to you as you lace the fingers behind your leg or over the shin as well. Flex your right toes here. And you can even use this right elbow to press the leg away from you, but make sure your shoulder blades stay on the ground. With your left foot, you can draw little circles, stretch your ankle. Allow the low back, the sacrum, to be heavy on the ground. And take one more breath here. And then you're gonna, with your right hand, catch your right ankle. Take a half happy baby and either extend your left leg or you can bend your knee and rest your foot on the ground. Wake up your toes here. Keep the hip points facing the ceiling. Breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. And then slowly, friends, start to guide your right knee with your left hand. You may want to shift the hips to the right a little bit, taking a supine twist. Your right arm can be extended out, or you can cactus. One more breath here. And mindfully come back to center. Make sure you align the hips with shoulders first. Stack your left ankle on top of your right leg again. First, take note, this might be already enough for you. Otherwise, invite the knee closer, flex your toes. And you can draw circles here with your right foot. Try to keep the upper body soft and easy here as you continue to deepen the breath, the connection to the breath. And then with your left hand, either grab your shin, ankle, or your foot, and take 3 slow mindful breaths in half happy baby. Before we take that twist, let's go into a full happy baby for 3 breaths. Lengthen your tailbone towards the top of your mat. Flex your toes. Energize through the feet and legs. Relax into the groins. Extend the right leg once again. Shift your hips to the left. Guide your knee to the right. We start to move slow. We're going to start to warm up the body so we can flow safely and creatively as well. Hug your knees in and just rock yourself back and forth, coming into a tabletop. As you come to all fours here, we're gonna move through a few rounds of cat and cow. If you're feeling distracted, or if the mind is wandering, if the gaze, right, your eyes are traveling around your space, your room, maybe close your eyes. Allow yourself to go inside. And then extend your left leg behind you. First, square off the hips here. Reach your left arm in front of you. Draw the navel towards the spine. Press actively through your right palm. Take a big breath in. Exhale, curl round the spine, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. Last one. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, lengthen. Bend your right knee. Catch your ankle or your foot. Make sure your belly's not hanging here and that you are also activating through the toes. You're going to mindfully release and cross your right knee behind the left. Slowly sit here into a little Gobukasana. So this is like outer hip stretch here. Take your right elbow up towards the ceiling, left elbow down. If your fingers don't meet behind your back, you can always just take your left hand to your right elbow. Flex your toes. That bottom leg can also be straight. Release your arms, fold here. Just notice here, we're going to revisit this pose later. So just notice how it feels in the beginning of the class, right? One more breath in through the nose. And out through the nose. Walk your hands back, take an inhale. Pause for the exhale. And then whatever way that makes sense for you to go back into your tabletop, uncross the legs, and start to move through your cat and cow here. And then find your neutral spine. Extend your left leg behind you. Reach your right arm in front of you. Reach in opposite direction. Take an inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen, pause, bend your knee. Either just curl the hamstring or grab a hold of your foot. Press through your left palm. One more breath here. And slowly cross your left knee behind your right. Sit back in between your feet for that Gomukhasana, cow-faced pose. First, settle into your pose, and then either take your left elbow, right elbow behind your back, or take your hand over. Make sure you're not tucking your chin. Wake up your toes. Try not to escape the pose as you root down, pressing the sits bones evenly on the ground. And then release your hands. You can fold here for a couple breaths, or you may stay where you are. Good, and then slowly release. Just plant your feet, windshield wipe your legs here. And then plant your feet on the ground, hands behind you, fingers point towards your sits bones. Stack your knees over the ankles, lift your hips here for that reverse tabletop outer pose. Slowly come down, cross your legs, find a wild child's pose. So you want to bring your knees nice and wide here, wider than you normally do. So like most likely your knees are going to come outside your mat. And then you're going to sit back here. If you can, grab the edges of your sticky mat and stretch that mat away from you. Stay here for 3 breaths. Allow the hips get heavy towards the heels and the spine to get nice and long. And then press yourself up and back to downward facing dog. Raise your right leg to the sky, step your right foot forward. Bring your knee to the ground. Hold it here for 2 breaths. Your hands can always come to blocks as well. One more breath here. Curl the back toes under. Raise your right arm to the sky. Open twist. Frame your foot. Step your left foot to meet your right. Breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out to fold. Take an inhale, rise. Exhale, right back down. Breathe in, lengthen. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Inhale at the top of your push-up. Exhale, lower down. Open the heart, take a back bend of your choice. We meet in downward dog. Breathe your left leg high, step your foot forward. Make sure you stack your knee over your ankle here. Take your right knee to the ground. And again, just let the hips feel heavy here, but you're keeping a long spine. You're most likely feeling a stretch in the front of the right hip, maybe a little bit of the quad. I have a really tight left hip, so I actually feel in my hip crease as well. And then curl the back toes under, firm up through the back leg, raise your arm, twist. And then step your right foot to meet your left. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. So moving through some sun salutations, step back or jump to build heat. Allow the fire to loosen things up here, right? So we can start to create space. So the breath can move freely, the energy, so you can release, some of the stiffness, the tightness that we tend to hold on to in our bodies. Raise your right leg. Step your right foot outside your right hand. Bring that knee to the ground. So it's a similar pose we're doing. So instead of that lunge, you're going more into a lizard now. So again, that hip is heavy. You can actually, if you start to feel this into the low back, you can lift your hip a little bit more so you're engaging. Keep that spine long. We're gonna add our twist here. So I like to walk my hand outside my mat a little bit wider so I can support. Reach your arm up, take that twist, and then reach your fingertips back. Grab a hold of your foot or ankle. Take a quad stretch here. Don't worry if that doesn't happen, but it's just probably a reminder that you need to give your quad a little bit more love. We all do. Slowly release. Curl the back toes under. You're going to step your left foot outside your left hand. And you're gonna come to a high squat. So sort of like in between a malasana and a goddess pose. And then reach your arms up. Lace the fingers behind your back. Turn your toes forward, but keep your feet wide here. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold. Rinse your knuckles away from your spine. You can bend your knees as much as you need here. Relax your toes. Notice where you feel the stretch, where you feel sensation. Notice if you lose connection to the breath. And release your hands. So step your right foot back. So we're going to go right into lizard on the other side right away. Keeping your knee over ankle, press through the left heel, breathe, soften. One more breath here. We're going to set up for that twist, so reach your left arm high, and then fingertips back. Bend your knee, grabbing a hold of foot, ankle, strap, towel. Last one, breathe in. Open mouth, exhale. Mindfully, gracefully release. Curl the back toes under. Step your right foot outside. Go into a malasana squat here. Or you can be, up. You don't have to come all the way down, especially if you still need to warm up a little bit more. You can sit on a block or two. If you're down here, press through the feet and slowly come up. Reach your arms, inhale. Lace the fingers, exhale. Big breath in. And slow breath out, fold. Rinse your knuckles away from your spine, let the head hang. Allow the breath to travel through the body. Release your hands, take an inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, move like you step, jump, whatever it is that you need right now. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Press up and back. Downward facing dog. Raise your right leg, step your right foot forward. Open, warrior two. So in your warrior two, you wanna heel to arch alignment here. So right heel to left, the arch of your left foot. Shoulders stay over the hips. Notice if you start to travel and follow your right arm here. Really stay active through your right foot. Flip your right palm, reach up and back. Peaceful warrior. You can work on a half bind here. Wrap your arm behind your back, fingertips towards the right hip crease. Bend your knee a little bit more. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Inhale, reach. Tick-tock your arms. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right hand, fingertips floor, block, or to your shin. Keep your chest open the whole time. Come back to center. Keep that front leg straight. Reverse triangle. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel your hands. Just step back to plank flow. Take a few breaths in downward dog. And then breathe your left leg high, step your foot forward. Open, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Reach up and back. Keep both sides of the body nice and long here. Relax your shoulder. And come back to your warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Keep a soft bend on your knee. Inhale, lengthen the side body. As you exhale, take your triangle. Come back to warrior two. Straighten that leg. Go into that reverse triangle. So that front leg is nice and straight. You're just reaching back. Breathe deeply into the left side of the body right now. And now come back to your warrior two. Cartwheel your hands. Move like you. Whether you flow or you go into your downward dog. Bend your knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise. Hands to the heart center. You're gonna go into a little tree pose right away, so a little balancing pose. Transfer the weight to your right foot, lift your left heel. Stand tall, inhale, bring your knee about hip height, open out to the side, but keep the hips squared. Come back to center, inhale, open, exhale. Inhale, center, Exhale out to the side. Place your foot either all the way up, or you can keep your big toe on the floor or right below the knee. Press your foot into your hand, not into your hand, that would be crazy. Into your leg into your foot. I'm gonna add a little twist here, so cactus your arms, take a big breath in. Exhale, try not to move your hips here, just twist, move your rib cage. Start to twist to your left. Follow that left hand. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. Come back to center, hands to the heart, and then slowly release. Shake it out. And come back to center. So now press your left foot firmly on the ground, pull the belly in, lift your knee about hip height, flex your toes, breathe in and breathe out. Open that knee out to the side, inhale, center, exhale to the side, back to center, open wide. Choose the variation on the side, it may not be at the same. But again, stay active through both legs and feet as you root yourself here deeply into love, compassion, kindness. Bring your arms to cactus, find your drishti, your focal point. Take an inhale, exhale, twist to your right. Breathe back to center and to the left. Inhale, come back, hands to the heart and release. You can shake out the legs a little bit. Come to the top of your mat. Big breath in. And as you fold, exhale. Breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out. You know what to do. Flow or not. How's your breath? Take your right leg high, step your right foot forward, open warrior two, and reverse your warrior. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to rainbow warrior. So get deep into that left hip and find Ardha Chandrasana towards the top of your mat. So make sure you're not turning that right foot inwards. Make sure your big toe, in fact, all 5-10 toes point straight forward. Your hand may stay at the hip, or you can reach your arm up. You can even lift your gaze up towards the ceiling for a little bit more challenge. One more breath here. Slowly come back to your warrior two. Inhale. Reverse your warrior. Exhale. Straighten your right leg. Pivot your foot. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold. This is your opportunity to slow down the breath, the mind. Shake your head yes and no. Open and close your mouth. Relax your toes. Breathe deeply into the back of the legs. Take your hands to your hips with a flat back. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Circle the arms, breathe in, breathe out. Open warrior two facing the other side. And reverse the warrior. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, rainbow warrior. And find Ardha Chandrasana. Take your time. Reset if you need. Once you find your balance, right, so using alignment to create stability, notice if you're holding the breath. Gracefully come back to your warrior two. Inhale. And peaceful warrior. Exhale. Come back to center. Straighten your left leg. You're going to bring your heels in. Toes slightly out for goddess or horse pose. So bend your knee here. Make sure your knees are roughly in line with your ankles and they're pressing out, not in. Lengthen your tailbone. Try to keep your chest as open as much as possible. Take your thumbs forward, all four fingers out. Big breath in. Exhale, take your right shoulder down. You hear that popping? That was my hip. Every time I do this pose, my hips pop. It feels good. Come back to center and switch. Inhale, center. Take your hands to the heart. Move a little bit side to side. Maybe up and down. Try again not to run away. Especially if this pose is really challenging for you. I know it can be. We tend to hold a lot in our hips, right? We tend to grip and hold. Sit low. Inhale, reach up. Star pose. Turn all 10 toes forward, hands at the hips. Bring your feet a little bit closer in. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Again, give your legs, the low back, the opportunity to release a little bit more. You can grab your elbows with opposite hands. And release. Big breath in, lengthen. As you exhale, walk your hands towards the front of your mat. We're gonna go back into that Malasana. So remember, your feet can be as wide as your sticky mat. You can sit on a block or two. You can find more of like a goddess shape. Just try to breathe here. Breathe deeply into the lower body. And then slowly take your hands to the floor, straighten the legs. Take your feet about mat's width apart. We're gonna add a twist here. So keep your left hand under the face. Raise your right arm to the sky. And release. The other side. Slowly release. Take your hands to your hips, press through the feet. Come all the way up. Inhale, circle your arms. Palms touch, pull the energy to the heart. All right, friends, we're gonna work with a final hip and balancing pose at the same time. So we're gonna be doing figure 4. Also with an option to go into an arm balance, Galavasana, flying pigeon. So transfer the weight to your left foot, raise your right knee about hip height, cross your ankle right above the knee. From here, do that sitting chair. So remember, we did this in the beginning of the class, but we were on our backs. So you can always do that recline reclined figure 4. You can do this seated as well. You can sit down and just bend your left knee and stack your ankle on top of the leg. You may stay here, or you can work towards getting your hands to the ground. So you're gonna curl the toes into the tricep, so into that left tricep. Walk your hands forward like crow pose, so about shoulder width. Pull that belly in, press the fingertips, lift your gaze. Maybe you float your back toes off the ground. Or you can just work towards, bringing the hands down, but don't straighten the leg. Keep bending the knee, right? This is going to increase that outer hip stretch. So eventually, if you want to get into the arm balance, make sure your toes are wrapped around your triceps. Slowly come all the way up. Take a moment here. Let go. And then we're gonna go right into the other side. And at least with me, my body, I try to respect my limitations. And I know certain things that I can do on the right, I may not be able to do on the left. I always give it a try because you just don't know. Every time you come to your mat, it's gonna be a brand new experience, right? So remember, yoga is about the present. It's what's happening right now. So don't go with that mindset right away, oh no, I can't do this on the side, I'm too tight or I'm not strong enough. Detach yourself from judgment, comparison. So option again to work towards getting the hands on the ground and curling the toes. Sometimes having blocks, it's helpful, especially if you have the limited range of motion. I haven't done this pose in quite some time, so I'm gonna just ease my way into it. Comes a little bit easier on my right side. And then whenever you're done, slowly come up, take your hands to the heart center, thank yourself for the efforts, for showing up. All right, good work. We're gonna come into that tabletop. That's like how I like to get into that Gomukhasana. So take your right knee behind, open your feet nice and wide, and come to sit in between your feet, flex your toes. So remember, you always have the option to sit on a blanket, a towel, or a block, especially if you notice you're pouring more weight to one side. Breathe here for a moment. Fully arrive into the pose. Notice already what might feel different. And then if you want, you can go a little deeper and walk the hands in front of you. As you fold here, use this opportunity to free your hips. Create more freedom, more space. And then walk the hands. I always like to do, this, I forget what it's called, but like this little Barbie thing where you turn around. So your hands are gonna come to the right. You're not gonna move your feet, okay? So just turn, extend your legs, just move your hands, keep your feet where they are, but you start to turn your toes so they face forward. It took me several times trying this. I was always facing the wrong direction. But I think it's a fun way to get into the pose. Yoga doesn't have to be so serious, right? It is a discipline, right? It takes lots of commitment, dedication, but it still can be fun. Stay here or slowly walk the hands forward. One more breath. And mindfully release, uncross the legs. You can winch wide, shake it out, wherever it is that you need today. And then let's just take a Supta Baddha, no, Baddha Konasana. We're gonna do this seated. So again, either that butterfly shape with the feet very close to you, or you can walk the feet away from you. Whatever you choose, you can just relax completely. You can round your spine. Take a breath in, and then exhale, fold. Maybe rock the hips back a little bit. For those of you with props at home, you can always rest a block here on top of your feet, or you can make fists with your hands and stack them. Just give yourself permission to let go here, to relax. Slow down the breath. And then if you feel ready, slowly walk your hands back. Let's take a little seated twist here. So you can cross your legs. Take your right hand to your left knee, left hand behind your back. Shift your gaze back. And release. Switch sides. Sit tall. And come back to center. Find your Shavasana, your final relaxation. Come down to your backs, open your feet wide, relax your arms, close your eyes, give yourself permission to receive. I encourage you to spend at least a couple minutes in your final relaxation. Thank you so much for spending some time with me on your mats, allowing me to guide you. May you have peace, may you be happy, may you be free. Namaste.